Alright, 7th graders, we are going to be solving equations by adding or subtracting fractions. So if you remember how we solve the equations when we add integers, we use this key term, opposite operations. So again, to undo subtraction, I have to add, and to undo addition, I have to subtract. So that same concept is going to work for fractions. Just remember the one special rule about adding fractions or subtracting is you need the same denominator. So if we look at this first example, this says n minus 3/4 equals negative 5/8. My goal is to get n by itself. So how do I undo subtracting 3/4? Well, I need to add 3/4 on the left side. And if I add something on the left side, I also have to add it on the right side. So these are going to go away. N equals negative 5/8 plus 3/4. So I don't have a common denominator because I have an 8 and a 4. But I know that all I have to do is multiply my numerator and my denominator by 2, and I can rewrite it as 6/8. So really, I have negative 5/8 plus 6/8. Negative 5 plus 6 is positive 1/8. So n equals 1/8, positive 1/8. Just like solving a normal equation, there's one extra step, and that is to make sure that you have a common denominator before you add your fractions. In 1999, the average household in the United States recycled about 1/4 of its solid waste. The EPA has set a goal of recycling about 1/3 of solid waste. By how much would the average household need to increase its recycling to meet the EPA goal? So according to this data, right now we're at 1/4 solid waste recycling. We need to add something. We need to increase it because we're not sure how much yet. But we know we don't want to add or end up at 1/3. So again, if I separate my left side and my right side, and I see I have 1/4 plus x, positive 1/4. For me to get rid of positive 1/4, I need to subtract 1/4. And when I subtract it on the left, I need to subtract it on the right. So x equals 1/3 minus 1/4. Let's find common denominators. What do 3 and 4 have in common? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 4, 8, 12. Oh, I see we both have a 12 in common. So I'm going to multiply this first 1/3. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4. And then my 1/4, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 3. So x equals 4 over 12. Minus 3 over 12, which equals 1/12. Again, it's just like solving an equation, but you gotta find a common denominator first. Henry cut 1 3/8 yards from a piece of wood. Afterwards, the piece of wood was 2 1/4 yards long. The equation P minus 1 3/8 equals 2 1/4 models this situation. How long was the piece of wood before Henry cut it? So my first method I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them as mixed numbers. And so again, this says subtracting 1 3/8. So to do the opposite of that, I'm going to add 1 3/8, add 1 3/8. And so when we have mixed numbers, remember we got to add the whole numbers together and we have to add the fractions together. So first, it's pretty easy to do. 2 plus 1 gives me 3. The harder part is to do 1/4 plus 3/8. Again, check, do you have a common denominator? No. But all I have to do is multiply the top and the bottom by 2. And so I'm going to get 2 over 8 plus 3 over 8, which equals 5/8. And so now I need to combine this answer right here. 2 plus 1 equals 3. With this answer of 5/8, and my answer is going to equal 5/8. Could solve that slightly different. We could also turn our mixed numbers into improper fractions. So again, to do that, if I have 1 3/8, I'm going to multiply by my denominator and add the numerator. So I'm going to multiply by the denominator and add the numerator. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 3 equals 11. So I could say that this is P minus 11 over 8 equals, and let's do the same thing for 2 1/4 as well. So 2 1/4, I'm going to multiply by the denominator and add the numerator. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So I can rewrite this as 9/4. So we're going to solve it like we solve every equation. The opposite of subtracting 11/8 is to add 11/8 on both sides. Don't have common denominators yet, so I'm going to multiply this top number and this bottom number by 2. Therefore, P equals 18 over 8 plus 11 over 8. 18 plus 11 is 29 over 8. Now we can count how many times does 8 go into 29? 8, 16, 24, 32. Nope, 32 is too big. So I know that I have 3 whole numbers. So P equals 3. And then if I take away 29 minus 24, that gives me 5. So I'm going to have 3 5/8 as a final answer. Did we get the same answer? Let's double check. It sure looks like we did, which means we did it correctly. And again, the 2 methods are to keep as mixed numbers or turn to improper fractions.